What is up, world? Wow. It was a wild weekend of football, man. My God. Today, wow. I mean, it kept the theme of this year's playoffs. Everything had to be close. Everything had to be, close to the vest. There were no runaway games, man. It's just wow. But before we get into that, man, I just want to, you hear what your usual suspects, man. I want to introduce the panel and the distinguished guests we got here, man. Big G, what's popping, man? How you doing?
Man, let me tell y'all something, man. This playoffs, it's been some of the best playoffs I've seen in my whole life, man. So I'm just, I'm thrilled. Even though my squad ain't there, I can honestly say this has been one of the best playoff runs I've ever seen, man.
That's a
Yeah, these
lot of life.
playoffs definitely owe us nothing. And we got Tate with us. Tate, what's up, man? How you doing? Did you enjoy the games today, man?
Yeah, I enjoyed the games, man. Big G, that's a lot of life, boy. What damn near 50 years. But
But you got
yeah,
to remember, you 3 weeks older than me, so it don't matter. So if I'm old,
yeah,
you
but
old as dirt.
I didn't quantify the best playoffs in my whole life. You did that. But nah, it has been probably the best. I mean, like just from start to finish, all the games every weekend, it's been awesome, man. And once the Steelers was out, I was rooting for the Bengals, man. I really don't like Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, and I really don't like how Nick Wright loved to brag about his Chiefs. So he ain't said much. I followed his Twitter. He ain't said much since they got cracked.
But
Yeah.
yeah, man. So let's move on. We got our man Brandon B Dirt with us, man. What's popping, man? How you feeling?
I'm doing good, guys. Thanks for having me back. I'm living pretty high right now. It's been pretty intense. Obviously, no, really happy for Joe Burrow, the Bengals, all my friends that are fans that have been struggling for a long time. But I do have to agree with you guys, though. I can't recall. I hearken all the way back to when the Bengals lost in the Super Bowl, and when I was 12 years old. But I can't remember any one set of playoffs been better than what we've seen so far. I mean, every single game. There was the one blowout with the Pats, but other than that, I mean, pretty much everything's been really competitive right there.
Yeah,
So,
man. Yeah, man. We're definitely gonna get into it. But before we get into that, let's get into this. And you are in tune to the Know It All podcast. Definitely, we get it in every week, talk about sports, culture, and a little bit of everything in between. If you like what you are seeing, make sure that you like it on Facebook, subscribe on YouTube. You can also subscribe on Twitch where you can rock with us every week. You'll get notifications when we definitely go on, man. But look, let's talk about this. Who they? Who they?
today,
Today to the Super Bowl. That is a big thing, man. I want you to talk to us real briefly, B Dirt, man. Talk to us about what this means for the city of Cincinnati and all of the Cincinnati Bengals fans. Talk to us about that, man.
yeah, I mean, it's been some hardships. It's been some struggles. Even when back when you look in the 2013-15 when we won the division, we had that perfect ending game against the Steelers. Even when we had that kind of stuff, I don't know that we really loved our team then. You know what I mean? Like the team, there was still some animosity with the city and some of the players that were on the team. There was a lot of trouble that surrounded the team. So I don't think they were embraced like this team is. This team seems like the city's really putting its arm around them, like they're doing it, I think, the right way. They've got a pretty good cast of characters. And I think, Joe Burrow just seems to be the real deal, man.
Man, it's crazy to think about this, man, that the Bengals are in the Super Bowl. Man, dang, it's wild. It's wild. And G, talk to me, because one thing I think we all were like saying, man, this was a hard one, man. We could see it going the other way. But G, talk to me, man. How do you feel about seeing the Bengals in the Super Bowl this year, man?
Man, I was just talking to Tate off camera about this, man. I first of all, congratulations to the Cincinnati Bengals, man. I mean, I can't bring myself to say who they, but man, I'm telling you, they handle their business. But what I was talking to Tate about was that they have probably put themselves in position to be the dominant force in the AFC Central maybe for the next few years. And I told Tate that we got to fix the quarterback as far as Pittsburgh fast, because Joe Burrow is not going anywhere. And you got T. Higgins, you got Joe Mixon, and you got Jamar Chase, basically all under rookie contracts with Joe Burrow's rookie contract. The sky is the limit for these young kids, man. And now Cincinnati turns from a spot to where, not necessarily the laughing stock, maybe like Detroit, but where you can actually draw free agents, because they had already done that in this year's team from a cultural standpoint when they spent money on guys they brought in from winning programs to win. Now they see the fruit of their labor. So now Cincinnati's a landing spot for players that want to win. So I'm like, man, did we just see the birth of a new franchise that can just dominate? I mean, I know the AFC is going to be tough with Josh Allen and with Jackson and with Pat Mahomes and Justin Herbert. But, man, have we just seen the birth of something that could be real special, man?
Man, that's crazy you say that. We're definitely going to get into that a little bit more and delve in it. But Tate, man, how'd you feel about this game, man? Watching the Bengals do what they did, how did you feel?
Hey, man, I want to give it up to B Dirt. That's my boy. He's a longtime Bengals fan. Shout out to my homegirl, one of my sister's best friends, Vonetta Caldwell. She out here in D.C. from Cincinnati, and she loved the Bengals. My boy CB Butler, Eric Woods back in Lima, Ohio. All the Bengals fans, man. Big ups to y'all, man. It's been a long time. I think all y'all was probably still in junior high, not even high school last time they made it there. But yeah, man, that dude Joe Burrow is the truth, man. He's unflappable. Down 21-3. The Bengals defense came to play the second half. T. Higgins made plays. Jamar Chase made plays. Joe Mixon was just rugged in the running game. He didn't ever bust a big run, but he let you know he was there with the physicality, getting 3, 4, 5 yard runs, and then ultimately just being a threat. So they had to play that. But it all comes down to Joe Mixon, man. I mean, not Joe Burrow. Got two Joes. Joe Burrow, he brought him home, man. And I was rooting for him. I mean, I know a lot of people. The Bengals are in the Steelers division. I know a lot of people, Steelers fans included, all the Steeler podcasts I visit and sometimes appear on and stuff like that. Everybody's against the Bengals, man. I like to root for the teams in my division because I would love to play the world champions 2 times next year. That's beneficial to us. You know what I mean? So I was rooting for the Bengals the whole time, man. Nothing against them.
Yeah, I say this to say that y'all brought up some great points. Definitely some great points. D-Mob, K-Drama, shout out to you boys. Y'all already acting crazy on Instagram and Twitter. I seen it. I want to say shout out to y'all. But at the same time, man, the AFC is problematic. And the reason why I say it's problematic is y'all are gonna beat up on each other for a while. These ain't no easy games. Y'all are not going against whack quarterback. I don't remember, and we're talking about football like in its terms like that. I don't remember a group of young gunners like this since Peyton Manning and them. But they weren't all in the same league, right? You got everybody in the same league. You got Justin Herbert. You got Lamar Jackson. You got your boy down at the Bengals. You got your boy at KC. Man, you're gonna get another young quarterback that's gonna mix it up in the AFC coming soon. You know you are. So man, and then what happens if you get like a Aaron Rodgers at Pittsburgh or someplace? Man, the AFC is gonna be hard to come up at. If you come up out the AFC, you did that. You did that. Even this year, you did that.
Who was you guys? That would have been Peyton, Brady, and Ben. That's what you're talking about?
Yes.
What was there? 17 years where only one other quarterback won a Super Bowl besides him, or two, or something like. It was a wild run.
Yeah, there was only.
I think it was Flacco.
Yeah, there was only in an 18-year run. It was Joe Flacco, Ben Roethlisberger, Tom Brady, and Peyton Manning. Outside of that, you couldn't get in. You had to be one of them ones, man.
It's crazy to me, man. When you look at it, it's just wow that you got this group of young gunners, you know, that are all in here together. And then I mean, you still got. Go ahead.
They're already there. They're already there. I mean, don't sleep on the possible development of Matt Jones. Don't sleep on the development of Zach Wilson. Don't sleep on the development of Trevor Lawrence. And you better pay attention to that kid out there, that other kid in Los Angeles by the name of Justin Herbert. So, you know, it's a lot going on in that AFC, man.
You still got Carr over there. Carr ain't a bad quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, man, you got to come to the Browns. The Browns really need to adjust and address that quarterback issue. Honestly, to be real with you, I think they're the odd team out. Because they're built to win now, and they're going to have big contracts coming up soon that they're gonna have to pay or let go. You know. So
no one on the panel said anything about last year's MVP either.
Yeah.
Okay.
Lamar Jackson's
you're
in
right.
the division.
No, we said Lamar Jackson.
Oh, did you?
We said Lamar Jackson. He's one of the young gunners.
That's crazy.
You know what I'm saying? So I mean, you're looking at it and you think about this. It's like, wow, how's this AFC gonna continue? But man, let's get back to tonight, man. And then we had the Rams versus San Francisco. Let me tell y'all something. Deebo Samuels is that dude. Yeah. Deebo Samuels is that dude. Tate said something during the game. He was like, man, he getting blasted, but he out there just getting up, giving it to him. You know what I'm saying? That's when you know you're a football player. That's when you know that you got substance, when you can get mass and still get up and
is he 225? Is he 225 pounds?
I had to take. How much does Deebo weigh?
He looked like
he probably about 210.
That's a big fella, man. That's a big
solid.
Fella, man, playing
well
WR, man.
He's well put together. B-Dot, man, talk to me about that. Talk to me a little bit about that San Francisco Rams game. How'd you feel watching that, man?
Well, as far as the fan goes, I had mixed feelings because, my second team kind of was always the Lions. So I'm kind of a Matt Stafford homer a little bit. But I did want some redemption. Knowing that Cincinnati's been there twice and both times got beat by the 49ers. So I thought maybe third time would be a charm. But as far as the game goes, it just seems to me that whenever Aaron Donald wants to wreck a game, he wrecks the game. And that was the last series they had. He just ran over people. Didn't get sacked, didn't get, didn't get Jimmy G to the ground, but he caused all the havoc. He caused the errant throws. He caused the off route stuff. I mean, he just a man amongst boys. But both of them, solid defenses, tough teams. It felt to me like the Rams were trying to take that bully game to Deebo Samuels. And like you said, he just was giving it right back. But I don't know. I try to, when I look at teams that are, I think, evenly matched, I go to what trust level do I have in the quarterback? And just, Jimmy G makes too many critical errors.
Yeah, Jimmy G is going to give you one at some point in the game. Jimmy G is known for that. He's going to give you one. Tate, how'd you feel looking at this one, man? How'd you feel?
Hey, I just want to piggyback on what we were talking about just a second ago, the quarterbacks. I had a excuse me, when I was a kid, Mod, I had a poster up in my room, man. The poster was called the Bomb Squad. And I had all the good quarterbacks the great quarterbacks at the time back in the day. So it had Montana and Randall Cunningham on there. But the AFC quarterbacks, so we're talking about all the quarterbacks in the conference currently. The AFC quarterbacks was Dan Marino, John Elway, Jim Kelly, Bernie Kosar, and Warren Moon. That's a gauntlet too.
Whoa.
And that was back in like 87, 88.
That's a gauntlet. That's a gauntlet. That's a gauntlet. And that's kind of like what you're about to have, man. You know, that's kind of like what you're about to face. You got all of them, and they're only gonna get better. That's it. They're only gonna nobody's dropping off. There's no drop off with none of those teams because get this, they're all young. Every last one of those teams are very young team. And Lord forbid Lamar gets a number one receiver. Lord forbid. Lord forbid. Go ahead, G.
Hey, Ma, this is something that me and you talked about with our boy Max the other night, man. I was telling Max, and I told Mod, I said, this year will be the last draft where you're going to see defensive heavy in the top 7. I said, after this year, for the next 3 years in a row, you're going to see teams draft offensive players like there ain't no tomorrow. Because you got so much young talent. I'm telling you.
You said that night, and I questioned it then. I don't know about that.
Listen. This year's draft, I don't know. I'm not sold on none of the quarterbacks. I'm not saying that none of them is not going to be good. I'm just not sold on. But the draft after that, with the 3 kids I noticed coming out, and there might be a 4th, and the draft after that with the 2 kids I noticed coming out, and with all the young guys you got in the league now, you got to go offensive heavy. The NFL is a copycat league. When you establish a pattern to win, right? The Rams bought their offense. The Bengals drafted their offense. And a lot of those teams are drafting their offense in order to compete because it's a copycat league.
There will always be a need for defense.
I didn't say, I'm talking about draft heavy. I'm saying that this year will be draft heavy defense, top 10 picks. After that, for the next 2-3 years, I don't see it. I see teams going to get a quarterback. I see teams going to get quarterbacks, wide receivers, and running backs to win.
G,
you got to do that to win.
You see this star behind me, man? You see this star behind me? Hey, we drafted Michael Parsons. Guess what? There's always going to be a dude defensively that's going to automatically help a team and a young team.
Can I ask you a question? Where the Dallas Cowboys at right now?
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, you know okay. They're at the crib. They're at the crib. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying, we used to have a thought process because a lot of us, because we're older thinking, the defense wins championships, and I think that's changing.
Wins championships, brother. Defense wins championships. And if you don't think that Bengals defense came out and played,
the Bengals defense in the second half is what got them the W.
Thank you.
The Bills defense
you can't just sit up in here and say,
the Bengals defense in the second half got them the W.
Come on,
son. The Bengals defense in the second half got them the W.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they got the ball back from them. They didn't score. Who scored was that quarterback, them running backs, and the wide receivers.
Always score, man. Jimmy Garoppolo scored twice today.
Bro.
Their defense is what got them there.
I'm telling you, the game has shifted. The calls, the way they call the games, it favors the offense so much. In order for you to win, you got to have it. In order for you to win, you got to have 3 receivers, a tight end, a running back, and a quarterback. If you ain't got that, you ain't gonna win. There's no way you're gonna win.
And you got to have a number 1 corner and an edge rusher too.
Yeah.
I think I count 5. I count 5 on offense. I count 2, maybe 3 on defense.
Hey,
you got to have a quarterback, a running back, 3 receivers. and or a tight end to win.
We got sidetracked. Can I give you my take on the game like I was originally asked?
Yeah, you can, but we're definitely got to get back to G's point because it's ludicrous. I love you, G, but I can't understand what you're saying when there's an offensive side of the ball and a defensive side of the ball, and both of them have to play their side for it's a team game. But anyway, what did you think of the game, Tate? Talk to me.
Man, well, man, it kind of played out like I suggested. If you watch yesterday, my score prediction was 21-17 Rams. It was 20-17. So, far as the KnoItAllz pick 'em, that got me 2 wins. So I'm clearly ahead in the playoff pick games. I'm up in that. But it played out like I thought. I mean,
you're up by a game. Yep.
Yeah, you can't catch me, man. But hey, I give you credit. You was right because you couldn't see it in the game. You couldn't see it with the points on the board. But the Rams offense, I mean, you call Odell Beckham blown up. Cooper Kupp got 2 touchdowns, like you said. Odell didn't get a touchdown. But that passing game was there. I feel like San Francisco, when they punted it away in the fourth quarter, I think it was 4th and 2. They was at midfield. I felt like they should have went for it.
Yeah,
I mean they took a penalty to try to draw them offside, but if you Kyle Shanahan, then you got to go ahead and be aggressive and try and go get it. At that point, you up 17-14. It's like what 8 minutes left. You going to go ahead and try and put it away, and if you turn it over, you just got to hold. They're going to be in field goal range, But still, you still get the ball back with a tie game. So I probably would have went for that. McVay made some bad.
Oh my gosh, he made
challenges,
some bad
terrible challenges.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Hey, did the Rams leave 17 on the field? Number 18, the wide receiver dropped one. They threw an interception on the one, and they missed the field goal. So they ended up with 20 points. That put them at 37.
They threw an interception, but you got to credit San Francisco defense for that. They put pressure on Stafford, tipped the ball up in the air, and somebody caught it. And then San Francisco should have had that interception that Tart dropped.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that.
That was the game changer.
Yeah.
He ain't gonna sleep right tonight.
Yeah.
Hey, does anybody else think that Robbie Gould is super disrespectful? He doesn't care about anybody or anything, man. He done been disrespectful this whole playoffs. Like, wow, like Robbie, you just gonna line up and kick, huh? You're going to get your kicks in. You getting your reps in front of everybody.
He kicked over the Cowgirls, then he kicked over the Packers, and then he kicked over the Rams.
He out there kicking in the middle of our cheerleaders. Don't give a dang. He like, whatever, I'm kicking.
At the half, he was talking cash to Jalen Ramsey, too. When they went in the locker room, he was in Jalen Ramsey's face like, what? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, wow.
Robbie Gould is a linebacker in a kicker's body.
Yeah.
That's what that's
for
all
sure.
about.
For sure
it's wild. It's wild, man. So these games, man, when it comes down to it, and my take on the Rams, I knew the Rams were really ready to put on a show because, one, the Super Bowl is going to be on their home turf. And, that's everything. That's like the Lakers being in the finals. Big G said that earlier, man. They're just like the Lakers, the football version. So it was star-studded tonight. I told y'all it was going to be star-studded. That Super Bowl is going to be bought out, them boxes by stars. I'm telling you, you're going to see every star that there is in LA come out for the Super Bowl. And plus you got, January Joe. That's what they calling him now. January Joe Burrow coming in there, likely have a cigar in his mouth ready to go do what he do. You know what I'm saying?
So this is probably not a surprise to you, but as soon as we won, I'll look to see how much tickets we're going for. $57.45 each.
Ooh.
Section 509.
Woo.
Row 9.
That's nothing for them. That's a lifestyle. Like I said, the stars is coming out. It's going to be a star-studded event. You know what I mean?
B-Dirt going to make that happen.
I immediately started calling my boys in Cincinnati. It was like, maybe I'll just come there and go watch the game somewhere.
Right.
That's what you're going to have to do. I mean, that's an expensive ticket.
Shout out to Reggie Coley on Facebook. He said, my Rams, the Rams. That's all he's talking about is the Rams.
Yeah, man. Listen, so let's talk turkey now. Was Odell the problem? Was Odell really the problem in Cleveland? Or because I remember saying that Odell moving to LA was a good move for him. I said, hey, you know, I think he still got some left in the tank, you know, and we're seeing that. But was it just a style clash with Odell and Baker? Y'all talk to me about this, man. Let's talk. I mean, because Odell's back in the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And Baker's
he's not back. This is first time.
Well, he's in the Super Bowl. He's in the Super Bowl.
But I think just stylistically, man, Baker and the Browns and what they want to do isn't compatible to what Odell is best suited for. You know what I mean? And just from a market perspective, man. You know, Odell is New York City. Odell is LA, man. Odell ain't Great Lakes. He's not.
No,
he's not. So you know,
not a Rust Belt guy.
Right, right. So you know, it definitely wasn't Odell. I mean, the Browns need the big body physical wide receiver that's going to catch it over the middle in 20-degree temperatures and stuff like that, man. Odell is a Ferrari. The Browns need a Bronco. You know what I mean?
They need do they need an OJ Bronco, or do they just need? I mean, do they need a stallion?
White 86 version.
I mean, I just want to know.
Yeah, I go back to which quarterback do you trust more? I mean, did you think that Baker Mayfield was making the right reads and the right plays?
Never.
I mean, you look at it. I'd say no, because no matter who you've given him, no matter how good the line's been, how everything they've needed to improve, they've went and got a different coach. It's going to be that coach. Went and got a different this. It's going to be that. An offensive coordinator, whatever. They went and got the best offensive coach they could get, right? Stefanski at the time. They surrounded him with pieces. They brought Odell in because they wanted Odell. They've got, you know, 2 good tight ends. They've got 2 good wide receivers. Plus they got a deep threat. Like, I don't know, man. Like, what else do you want to give him? They shored up everything at some point in time.
Yeah.
Maybe you're surrounding the wrong guy with the pieces.
Yeah, I think honestly, B-Dirt, man, you kind of hit the nail on the head, man. I think Cleveland's their hands gonna be forced. Yeah, he is valuable as a marketing tool, and you know he was their draft pick. But man, if you want to win and you're built to win now, something's got to change, man. Something's got to change.
I think he's got better advertisements than Mahomes does, but that's the only thing he does better than him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Y'all know how hot take it, right? I'm telling you right now, the Cleveland Browns have the worst problem at quarterback in the whole AFC North. Right now, they have the biggest dilemma because they have all the players. They bought defense, they bought offense, they drafted, they got everything you need. Baker can't win. The Steelers is going to get a quarterback that can win. We're just not going to sit there. Me and Tate talked about an idol. We're not going to sit and wait. We might develop, but we're not going to sit and wait. The Bengals and the Ravens have it. Cleveland, Baker can't win. Baker can't win. I'm telling you right now, he can't win. Because when you have everything, how can you not win? I.e., how we got on this whole conversation about Odell Beckham. Odell Beckham, even though he's not a Cleveland guy, man, you don't trade away a Ferrari, man. You know, he's an alpha male personality, which you have to have to win in the NFL. Your dudes that go out there got to talk cash money to get the victory. And that's what Odell is about. Odell's like, give me the ball and get out of my way.
Is Odell an alpha? He seems kind of feminine to me.
Man, he's been an alpha as far as football since he came in the league.
Let's say this. He's an outspoken personality.
Right. Don't make him an alpha. He ain't in the locker room telling dudes what to do, getting them all hyped up.
Yeah, no, either outspoken personality. That alpha, that's a little debatable. I could see where I could see where G would get that from because he's very high strung, right? You know what I'm saying? And most alpha personalities are high strung. But he don't drop the balls of the locker room. You know what I'm saying? He don't do that. Like he don't come in and stomp and everybody's like, okay, let's get it together.
Rams, definitely not. Oh, we know that. We know what I'm saying. But Baker Mayfield sure ain't the alpha in Cleveland.
No.
And he sure ain't the alpha.
They need that. They need that.
Jarvis Landry probably is. I don't even think Myles Garrett's the alpha. Miles
Yeah.
Garrett is the best player, best talent, but he don't seem like he have a defensive end mentality.
No,
He's just
he's laid
so
back.
physically
So-
gifted.
So let me
he's
ask you a
laid
question.
back.
Joe B, Dirt. Joe B, the alpha in the Bengal land, right? He's the alpha. Everybody follow his lead.
Hold on before we go down that road.
He's one of those lead by example.
Yeah.
He's not the most.
I would say Joe Mixon probably the alpha.
Yeah,
I
hold
don't
on.
know.
Before we
I don't
actually
know.
go down that road, there's another question that was following up behind that where we had Odell Beckham, right?
Mhm.
Let's talk Cooper Kupp. Is Cooper Kupp gonna be
Depends-
when it's all said and done? Is he gonna be in the discussion for one of the greatest wide receivers of all time?
No.
No, not top 3. Not top 3, no.
Not top 10. What are you talking about? Top 3?
Well, I always cap off top 3. So he's not. But did he have maybe the greatest season in NFL history? Maybe.
Yeah. Perhaps,
maybe.
Yeah.
But not top 3.
Look at the company then. I mean, only the great Jerry Rice has done what he's done, and Debo.
But Jerry Rice did it for 20 years, man.
Yeah, do it for 10 years. Then we'll see.
That's all I'm saying. He had a great season, and everything clicked for him this year.
Do you think it was a better season than Megatron?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even though it happened in one extra game, and Megatron missed the game that season.
Yeah.
I mean, but just
he's not better than Megatron.
Talent for talent, Megatron is better. I mean, and the funny thing is, Stafford threw to both of them for their record-breaking seasons.
Okay, so here's a question for you: is he Edelman? Is he just like
Edelman?
He's 100
Is he like a Swiss Army knife in a great system, but will never make it to the Hall? Is that what he is?
No,
we can't even talk Hall, man. It's too early for all.
Too early, but I think he's got more potential. I think he's got potential to be better than Edelman.
I mean, but this was like his 5th or 6th year, I think. And
right.
He got Stafford and he broke out this year. And
he's been let's be real now. He's been 1,000-yard receiver for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He been studding up for 3 years.
But 1,000 yards today in the NFL is not that hard. So was Adam Thielen on opposite of Jefferson.
Hey, how many 1,000-yard receivers did the Lions have with homeboy after they traded for Stafford? Did they have any this year? I don't think so.
Oh no, they didn't get close. That wasn't even the ballpark.
No.
The one kid was coming on.
So hold on. B-Dirt, that's an interesting point of view. Where you headed with that?
Well, I think it's partially the wide receivers were better. I think it's partially the system was better. When you get McVay versus Campbell, I mean, who do you want to play offense for? If I Jared Goff and you were like, oh, I go from McVay to Campbell, this guy's biting kneecaps off. Like, that's not who I want to throw the ball around to, and then obviously I think when the talent at wide receiver was much better with Cooper Kupp than anybody that's in Detroit.
Okay, so my point is they're throwing around this 1,000-yard. It's easy to do 1,000 yards as a receiver in the NFL. I don't think it's that easy to do. I mean, honestly, name some receivers. Did Cleveland have 1,000-yard receiver this year?
We almost had 3.
But Ma, I feel what Tate is saying. When you start talking about era and greats, right? When you start talking about era and greats, back then, when you start talking about Jerry Rice and Megatron and Randy Moss and Terrell Owens and Tim Brown, that was hard back then because you basically could tackle a quarterback could tackle a wide receiver. Now, if you touch him or you hit him wrong, flags is coming out everywhere, right? So the issue is that it's and the offensive game now, and which is why I was getting to about saying with drafting. The offensive game favors the quarterback and the offenses. The NFL is into this thing about letting that ball rip, because they know that's going to put butts in the seats. So I'm saying that right now, the way that the game is evolved offensively, that you're going to see 1,000-yard receivers it's going to be easy to get a 2,000 and 3,000 yard receiver on the same squad as long as you have a quarterback that's got that arm, right?
Wow.
And so that's why I'm saying that offenses are going to draft players because you got quarterbacks that got arms that can get the ball to them.
Tampa Bay, if they would have stayed healthy and kept their nugget together, they would have had 3.
Hold on. Tate had something to say. Go ahead, Tate.
I was going to say Cooper Kupp had 1,000 yards 2 seasons, this year and one other season.
Okay.
And he's going to be 29 to start the next season. Turn 29 in June. He's going to be playing in his 6th season. So he at best he's a late bloomer. The fact that he's going to be 29 going to his 6th season mean he was an old rookie. You know what I mean? So I mean, I think it's not going. You're not going to have that upward trajectory for as long as you probably need to be considered one of the all-time greats.
He's probably got 5 or 6 really good years.
I think that's fair, Tate. I think that's fair. I think that's a fair assessment.
I would say 3 or 4. Wide receiver,
slider build,
6'2", 200.
What if he gets a Super Bowl win or 2 Super Bowl wins and gets 2 more 1,000-yard seasons? He's not first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's got an opportunity to get in the Hall of Fame. He has an opportunity, but that's way up the road. We'd have to see it consistently.
If he get
3 and 4 more years.
If he get 2 more if he get a Super Bowl and 2 1,000-yard seasons, 2 more 1,000-yard seasons, Hines Ward resume better than that.
That's what I'm saying. That he has a shot on opportunity. He's not first ballot, but I'm saying that's way up the road.
People the wrong way.
What you say?
I mean, I know everybody in Pittsburgh and all the Steelers fans loved Hines Ward, but I think he rubbed a lot of people the wrong way in the national media.
Yeah, and when we talked about this yesterday with Barry Bonds and stuff like that. That shouldn't even be part of the criteria.
That's unfortunate. Yeah.
It shouldn't be. It shouldn't be at all. I mean, definitely. And Sean, to your point, Big G, I need you to understand something. And this is where we're going back to the offensive draft. You got to understand it and correct me if I'm wrong. These are professional coaches, right? They getting fired and hired at the end of every season, right? If you don't do your job, you're getting fired and hired. You know what I'm saying? You don't think that somebody sitting down with a clicker and saying, you know what? This is the rules of the game. Let's figure this out and developing a system to where defensively they can slow people down and they're drafting their own personnel. That's going to happen.
No, too many
offenses are evolving. Defenses are going to evolve.
Too many young guns right now in the league. There's too many there's too many coming.
So you're saying that defenses won't evolve to be able to stop what's happening.
Well, I'm saying that you're always going to see a game, an NFL game for the next 4 to 7 years that's going to evolve and press forward with offenses playing and scoring touchdowns. That's what this thing is about.
Okay, but defenses will evolve, though.
But mine, and this is my point. You can say Jalen Ramsey. Let's name off the top. You probably can't even get to number 5 or 6 and name it off corners. But I bet money you can rip off 30 wide receivers and say he's a dog, he's a dog, he's a dog, he's a dog. And then let's not even jump to tight ends. When you start throwing them in the mix with that, you can say he's a dog, he's a dog, he's a dog, he's a dog, he's a dog. You don't have defensive backs that can stop these guys, man. They don't exist. I'm trying to tell you, and even at the collegiate level, kids are playing offense. They don't want to play defense. Every now and then you get a Jalen Ramsey or like maybe a real good defensive back. But every year, in this year's NFL draft, even though it's going to be defensive heavy at the top, you're still going to have at least 4 receivers go in the first round, and you might have 5. The kid for USC, both them kids at Ohio State, the kid at Purdue, is all going in the first round.
But that's based on need. That's predicated on the team's need, not on the.
And the kid at Alabama, so that's 5. Excuse me, 5 of them's going in the first round.
Okay, so go ahead. What were you about to say?
Per usual, Big G's takes is extreme, but
that's, you know.
But man, so So just like you had the need for every star receiver that's drafted, teams are trying to draft a star corner, a star middle linebacker with range.
J.C. Horn.
J.C. Horn, Micah Parsons, the kid that came out from Clemson a few years, Simmons, out of Clemson.
Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona. That's versatile like that. That's where the game is going. They you don't have them thumper linebackers in the middle because they evolve in the defense to keep up with these offenses. And you won't have playoff games like the Lawrence Taylor or Mike Singletary Giants and Bears. But still, at the end of the game, you got to get stops. Even if it's 28-28, you got to get a stop so your team get the ball and you can score and get that field goal. And defense is what does that.
Definitely. And I think, and then I'll let B-Dirt comment. But I think, you got professional coaches, G. You got coaches that are out here on the clicker, man. They sitting, once the season is over, they sitting down, looking at film, reviewing their system, trying to figure out how they can put things together to stop certain offenses. Just like the offenses are evolving, the defenses are evolving. Go ahead, B-Dirt.
I look at the next kind of thing going on with when you talk about all that, the offense and defense. I'm against Big G here. I think it's you still have to get some defense. Maybe it swings that way, 60-40. You can't see it going 90-10. I mean, I just don't think you can do that. But, I look at, like we were talking about the teams and how the AFC gets very convoluted. Everybody's got these dogs and quarterback, all that stuff. To me, the teams that are going to be like that next level success, looking back at the last, Patriots, dynasty that they built, is who gets in front of that wheel as far as people coming out of those rookie contracts, who re-signed somebody early, who cut somebody instead of holding on to them too long. Like those are a lot of the questions that we're going to see. A lot of front office stuff that's going to, you can look in the crystal ball and say the next 2 or 3 years, but for somebody that's dealt with 30 years of pain, I'd like to see 5 or 10, or maybe a little more if I want to be greedy, of good success. I mean, I live in Pittsburgh. I've seen what a real franchise looks like. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So that's what I want to see. I'm really happy. Like I do think we're sitting in a good spot because we have, 3 rookie contracts that are really good. We've just last year actually we re-signed Mixon. He's through 2024 right now.
Right.
So there's like, who do we get out ahead of and re-sign? Do we get out ahead because you're not going to be able to keep? I mean, you're going to have to back the Brinks truck up for Burrow, right? So who else do you re-sign on that deal? And I think you're going to see a lot of that. The Buffalo's going to go through it. We're going to go through it. Kansas City's eating through it right now, but that could start leaking. Like what does it look like? Are they holding on to Kelsey too long? Because honestly, 1 or 2 years from now, he's going to look like Gronk did this year. He's going to catch the ball when he's open, but.
Well, and B-Dirt, that's what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
That's what I'm saying about offenses, right? Cincinnati and Kansas City is going to pick at the bottom of the first round. If Jameson Williams is there, you don't think either one of those guys is going to pick him? They're going to take him right now. I mean, they're not even going to hesitate.
I would argue Cincinnati need to beef up their defense. Any pick I take in the first round of Cincinnati is either an O lineman or defense. It ain't no receiver. It ain't no tight end. It's
when you got to get an offensive lineman. Better. You add
you got to get an offensive lineman. You got to get an offensive lineman to protect your investment. He's getting sacked way too much.
And the value offensive linemen in the second round.
But this is the thing about offensive linemen. The value for offensive line drops after the top 10. When you go 12 through down, those guys and the guys you pick early in the second, and even a lot in the third, are the same value. Because if you look across the NFL offensive linemen, the majority of the starters are second and third round players. What I'm saying is, if you get a guy like Jameson Williams,
we're not arguing that fact, G. But we're saying you still need to get it. The draft, the NFL draft, is predicated on team need. If I have a number 1 draft pick and I need a tackle, I'm gonna go get me an offensive tackle in the first round.
Unless you're winning, then you draft for depth. But if you're winning NFC Championship, Super Bowl, Final Four, you draft for depth. You don't draft for need, you draft for depth. You're building players so that way to point out Beder's point, that when guys is contract because they played so well and you don't want to back up the Brinks truck to pay them, you got to have a guy who can step into that role. And hey, we've been sitting on this guy for about a year. He's explosive. He's ready to go. Let's pay him. Blah, blah, blah. Let's go. That's how you keep it going with a young, eccentric, exciting quarterback. You got to keep putting pieces up around him to give him a chance to win. That's just my thinking, man.
KnoItAllz listeners, y'all chime in on this, man. What do y'all think? Do you think that moving forward in the draft, you're going to see a lot more offensive players taken, or are you going to see more defensive players taken? We need to go and wrap that conversation up. So listen, you guys, I have an esteemed group of football guys on this live with me, and we're in this show and on this podcast. How much do you guys think that free agency is going to affect what we see in next year's NFL, and who is just a player away? What team do you think right now is a player away, and how much do you think free agency is going to affect? So we're going to take the first thing, like how much do you think? Well, no, we'll do this. What team is a player away from making a big leap and jumping into, you know, the NFC East, the NFC finals or the AFC finals? And I'll let Tate go. I'll let Tate start this out.
Man, free agency is always a thing, man. But I think the best. But see, it's easy to say. It's easy to say, far as free agency and far as team needs, is a player away. If that player is a quarterback, that's easy. I mean, to me, the question would be better started. We tried to answer in teams without a quarterback need. You know what I mean? Because it's easy. I like right offhand, I'd say the Denver Broncos. They got nice offensive weapons. They got a solid defense, probably top 10 defense. But Teddy Bridgewater won't answer, so it'll be easy to say get them a quarterback. But I would rather answer the question about a team that's a player away where that player is not a quarterback. And I'd probably say that the Seattle Seahawks are a player away from getting back. I think they just need either an elite running back or a nice young defensive difference maker. I'm not saying if it's, you know, somebody to put beside Bobby Wagner, a freak on the defensive line, or even somebody in the secondary. But because they're talented, you know what I mean? But so I think they're a team that's a player away that's not a quarterback, the Seahawks, who I would say.
You may have said the Seahawks, but I think you said a mouthful when you said Denver. That is a great young team, man, and I think they're a quarterback away. So I'll agree with you. G, talk to me, man. Who do you think is a player away from being in the discussion of being in the finals or being in the Super Bowl next year?
Well, I'll say maybe Buffalo is a team because they need a running back. But the team I'm more excited on seeing what the Los Angeles Chargers do. If the LA Chargers, they're going to pick somewhere in that 20 range. If they land, I mean, even though Mike Williams is a free agent, I think they're going to re-sign him. I don't think they're going to pay him all of that. But if they're able to land, I mean, like a Chris Godwin, who is an unrestricted free agent, or Devontae Adams, you know, if they land, or if they're able to draft a kid like a Garrett Wilson and get a third receiver to go out there in Los Angeles with a developing Justin Herbert, ooh-wee.
I look forward to be more of the draft. I agree with you, but because Keenan Allen are already getting the bag, they ain't finna pay Devontae Adams another 18. You're gonna pay Devontae Adams 21, 22 million.
Oh,
yeah,
you're gonna get paid
for sure.
Keenan Allen already making 18.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're not gonna put $40 million in the receiver room.
Yeah.
God. So I agree to draft though. They could get that third piece, a wide receiver in the draft, and I think and they need They need a tight end. Jared Cook is old too.
Yeah.
Definitely. B-Dirt, a team that you think that is just a player away and will have the opportunity to you may see them flash in the finals next year.
So I immediately popped a quarterback into my head, a team that needed a quarterback. And then after hearing Kevin's argument about that, I get that. My other team that I would go with, secondary non-quarterback, would be actually the Chargers, but for a totally different reason. I think they need a bell cow. I think they need somebody to take some heat off of Herbert. They got too many times that he threw the ball over 40 times last year. And I think we need to give somebody we can give the rock to. Take a little heat off him. Now, when you say quarterback, I'm going to go back to a team that thought they did this last year and really failed. Carson Wentz is not the answer.
Yeah.
I think Indianapolis can make that jump if they get, their quarterback. I mean, I could say the same thing about the Tennessee Titans if you want to say in the AFC South, though, because I don't trust Tannehill. I said that going into our game with them. So either one of those two teams, I think, are quarterback.
Yeah, and you're right. And Denver and the Washington football team, and it's a whole bunch of teams that you plug quarterback in. That's why that was like low hanging fruit. That was easy.
Washington football team.
I.e. why I said the next several drafts, offensive people got pieces. You just got to add some stuff. All you got to do is get 2-3 offensive players in the mix and let's go. Let's go. And like I said, this year's quarterback class, you ain't gonna get me to sell on. To co-sign for them. But the class after that, oh yeah, I'm co-signing for at least three of them. At least three of them.
And G, to your point. But B-Dirt just said this. To your point, that there are a lot of teams that can benefit from having a quarterback, and let's really talk. And Tate said it too, but I want to talk Jimmy G, man. Jimmy G's not the greatest. He's not the best. But he's a game manager. Does he stick around in this league? Do you guys, first of all, do y'all see him back with San Francisco next year?
I don't.
Is that a unanimous note? Everybody sees
no, I would say no. I don't see how they can.
Who does he go to? Who does Jimmy G go to? Who can he run to escape? Who can he run to actually find a happy place and he fit into their system?
I hope it's not Pittsburgh because him and Mason Rudolph is the same guy.
I think he's going to end up in that next tier down. I mean, I think he's going to be up in New Orleans, somebody that's not ready for that next step, but he would be a serviceable quarterback at. Put you in that Jeff Fisher purgatory, if you would.
Yeah. How about if Brady walks Tampa Bay? If Brady walks, they sign him.
I'd rather.
That'd be interesting.
I'd rather Jameis back.
Yeah, he's a free agent too. He's a free agent too.
Man, go ahead.
I was just gonna say I think Jimmy Garoppolo better than Baker Mayfield. I think the football team, if they don't draft somebody, Washington, that's an option.
Yeah.
I mean, Carolina, he's better than Sam Bradford. He wins bigger games than Kirk Cousins.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's Jimmy G gonna find a home. I mean, and the 49ers have too much draft capital and equity invested in Trey Lance, all the picks they trade away and stuff like that.
Yeah.
They lost this game. If they'd have won, you might have an argument for Jimmy G, like, oh, he got to the Super Bowl again 2 times in 3 years. But that last play,
that's Jimmy
G. Get him out of there. That got him out of there.
Yeah, that's Jimmy G-ish. That's Jimmy G-ish. He's going to give you one.
You get Trey Lance back there, and Trey Lance going to be able to at least escape the rush and do what quarterbacks do now. That's not Jimmy G.
Hey, Ma, can I make a comment about a team that I thought about after we because you sprung that question on us? Absolutely. And I got a team that I think will jump, and I'm going to tell you why I think they're going to jump. I think the Philadelphia Eagles are going to jump. I think because what they have 3 first-round picks, they pick 15, 16, and 20.
19.
Let's just say so it's 16, 15, 16, and 19, right? They already got Jalen Hurts. They got Miles Sanders. They got that Smith kid. Legit players. They got a decent tight end. All right. First round, I go with my 3 picks. Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, Jordan Davis, defensive tackle out of Georgia. Those are my 3 picks. 15, 16, and 19.
But they got 2 people leaving the offensive line. They need offensive line help.
I think they can get that in free agency. But if you go Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson, and Jordan Davis as your 3 first-round picks, I think they get an A+ for the draft. And then next year, you got Jalen Hurts lined up with Devontae Smith, Chris Olave, and Garrett Wilson.
First of all, I mean, nice sentiment, but
Right.
you're never going to get both of those two to line to fall
Don't
into
never
the
say
same
never.
place. Yeah.
Don't never say never.
Yeah, no, there's no way that Philadelphia drafts, and I will bring this up. I'll bring this up and give you your corner time back if Philadelphia got their hands on both of those 2 players, Olave and Garrett Wilson.
They might be there, but I want to tell me a team that drafted 2 first-round wide receivers. Last team to do that was who? You can't name them.
I think the Miami Dolphins did it, but
You
I got to
think?
go back and do some research. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that the Miami Dolphins did it a couple years ago.
With
I think
who?
the Dolphins
With who?
too. I got to do the research, but I think
If
they
they
did.
first-round receivers, you should know who they are.
Kenny Stills, I think, was one of them, but I got to figure out who the other guy was.
First-round pick.
I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna sit there and look.
Yeah, I mean, we'll definitely we could look at that. Waddle last year they got Waddle and they got somebody else, didn't they? They got 2 first-round receivers, didn't they?
No, they didn't.
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, whatever the case, you guys, here's my point. Here's my point on this is that when we're talking about a team drafting, like I said,
Kenny Stills drafted in round 5.
listen, a team drafting has to draft for their actual team needs. And Philadelphia, like Tate said, needs some offensive line. Jalen Hurts can't keep running for his life and then trying to throw. He's going to be bound. He's bound to make a mistake. Anytime you're making him run for his life, he's bound to make a mistake. And mistakes in the NFL are going to beat you. Mistakes in the NFL.
If you want to run the ball like they've been trying to commit to, man, they need some maulers.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely going to need some offensive tackles. So, you guys, I need to know this. We got the Super Bowl, and next week we're going to talk the Super Bowl heavy. We're going to get into the game. We're going to dive into the numbers. We're definitely going to break it down. But let's be reflective. Let's think about this, man. This season in football, what have we learned? What have we learned about the teams that have remained? We've already said that there's teams that could really make a big jump. We said that there are teams that, that we believe there's one player away. But what have we learned from this season? What was your takeaway from this NFL season? And I'll start with B-Dirt.
That if you keep Joe Burrow playing the full season, we've got a chance. That's what I took away from it. It was disheartening to watch him get hurt last year, but just to see his progression throughout the year and how the game slowed down for him and what he's able to comprehend out there, see and he's done a much better job second half of the year taking care of the ball and just making plays. So basically what I took away from is if we got him in there, we got a chance.
I like it. With me, I think coaching matters. Who you have at the helm definitely matters. I mean, we saw so many coaching blunders in these last couple of weeks. McVay almost cost himself the game. Andy Reid, I believe, not going for a field goal hurt himself. Definitely because that changed the tide and swung the tide in that game. He take a field goal there, they're still ahead. And yeah, man, it's a wild thing. I mean, I think I've learned this year more than anything the value of a great head coach and great assistant coaches. You need them all. I'll go with you, Tate. Talk to me. What have you learned from this year?
Well, real quick, I want to know if Andy Reid and McVay need to be fired. That's question to Big G.
No, not Andy Reid, and not McVay neither. Not Andy Reid or McVay. But Green Bay Packers court, who I've been on forever, LaFleur. Let's see what he do without Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams, like I've been saying forever. Because I don't think he's a good coach.
I don't want to sidetrack the comment. I got to answer the question, but what would Andy Reid do without Patrick Mahomes and Donovan McNabb?
Okay.
But my takeaway is that, man, not completely agreeing with what Big G said, but just that one position, the game revolves around quarterback play. It's hugely significant. I mean, and you can't just have no bum quarterbacks. You know what I mean? I mean, Matt Stafford, number 1 overall pick, 2009. Joe Burrow, number 1 overall pick. Matter of fact, Joe Burrow is the first quarterback drafted number 1 to make to the Super Bowl within his first 2 years.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So that position is hugely important, man. You got Josh Allen first round, Mahomes first round, Deshaun Watson first round, Herbert. All these guys is gonna make a difference as first round quarterbacks. Russell Wilson is been a while, but he was a 4th round pick.
Yeah, I think he went in the 3rd, but but not
past him. I can't even think of a quarterback that's doing something that's not a first rounder. So just that investment is critical. You know what I mean? So that's what I learned. And being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, we got to get the quarterback position right. Me and Big G was talking about that a little bit ago. You was right, Big G. Third round pick 75. You know who else was picked 3rd round pick 75 besides Russell Wilson?
Mm-hmm.
Mason Rudolph, exactly. 3rd round pick.
Trash.
He had some Russell Wilson in him.
Trash.
Garbage.
Trash.
I can tell you from Oklahoma State. Hey, garbage. Hey, so Big G, your takeaway.
I think that the NFL, and like I said, I've been harping on the quarterback forever, but I think that the NFL is you're going to see another evolution in the quarterback coming with the kids that's in college. I think you're going to see the next evolution is that you got kids that's got big arm, and there's a lot of them that's scrambling. There's a couple of runners. I mean, Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson are definitely runners. I think Justin Herbert is a runner. But I think with the next set of quarterbacks coming, they're going to be throwers and runners. And I think they're going to be even more dangerous as far as the NFL, because you can't tee off on them. You hit the quarterback wrong, flags are flying everywhere. So, I think the next evolution, when you see these kids coming out, the CJ Strouds and the Bryce Youngs and that DJ kid down there in Clemson, and oh boy, they just transferred to South Carolina. Then coming behind him is Caleb Williams. I think the next evolution. Spencer's going to play well in the NFL. His game's set for the NFL. You'll see. But anyway, I think
he's 5'11".
So is Bryce Young, and he just won the Heisman Trophy. Matter of fact, Bryce Young's 5'10".
If you picking a quarterback in the next year or two, who you taking?
Okay, hold on. We're gonna get to that. That was my next question, Tay. I'm so glad you said that. Max said y'all added a Bengals fan at the right time. Yeah, Max, sure. he came on to celebrate his victory. And Tate, to the Spencer Rattler question, I did just see him throw the ball flat-footed 70 yards the other day. He's got a cannon for an arm, and he can actually run. So
Jamarcus Russell could throw the ball 80 yards.
He's definitely good. And that's a
like I said, I think the next one.
Tate asked a great question. Quarterbacks coming, and this is it. This is the last one before we actually conclude the episode. Quarterbacks coming. Who do you think in the next couple of years that are going to be difference maker at the quarterback position coming to the NFL?
What you got, Big G?
I got a whole bunch of them. Stroud,
pick one.
Young.
You picking one. Who you picking?
It's a toss-up between Stroud and Caleb
Picking
Williams.
one. Picking one.
I can't say because I got to see Caleb Williams play one more year.
But just pick one.
Man.
Right now today, who you picking?
So if I had to go right now today, I would go Stroud.
Thank you.
I would right now today, I would go Stroud. I
just wanted to prove my point from months ago, what I was telling you. Now he the number one pick. Thank you.
Stroud has changed. Well, I mean, next year's draft and next year's NFL draft, he's number one. As long as he don't get hurt and as long as he don't lay an egg, he's number one.
Tate, who you got?
Oh, I got Stroud all day. I don't want Pittsburgh them on the quarterback now. They can wait till next year and take all their draft capital and whatever else they need to do to move up to get Stroud. That's my plan for the Steelers if I'm GM. Kevin Colbert retiring, bring in Kevin Tate, and that's what I'm doing.
Beat Hurt. Who you got, man?
Can we just agree at this point in time that the best Ohio State quarterback of all time graduated from Louisiana State University?
Oh, okay. All right.
Can we establish that?
Name
another quarterback that's done anything in the league from Ohio State.
None.
Mike Tomczak went.
Tom Tupa was a great punter.
None.
Mike Tomczak. But you know what? No, Joe Burrow is. But my one thing of hope is the fact that I got the guy on my team, the Steelers, that he couldn't beat out while he left Ohio State. So I want to see how that works out for us.
And the jury is still out on Justin Fields.
So I have Justin Fields in one of my keeper leagues. I have him because I got to give him a vote. But I did it as a 3-year program. I didn't think he'd do anything his first 2 years because I think he's got a little bit more of a learning curve, especially when he thought that it was moving slower than when he said he thought that the NFL game was moving slow. I was like, oh, there's gonna be a learning curve here.
Yeah. So, B Dirt, college quarterback, who you got?
Oh, well, this is the reason why I wanted to poke the bear. I think a guy sitting on our bench in Michigan is going to make more noise than C.J. Stroud. I think J.J. McCarthy is going to make more noise in the NFL than C.J. Stroud.
Who is it?
J.J. McCarthy.
Oh, man. That dude get in and fumble the ball. Y'all should have lost to Michigan. Hey.
All he's trying to do is make splash plays because they put him in for one play. If he didn't do anything, pull it back out. It was silly the way they used him. I'm telling you, he's got a better arm. He's got mechanics. He's fleet of foot. He can run. He can do it all. I'm telling you. Mark this down. Maud, you keep track of it. Mark it down. He's going to have a better NFL career than C.J. Stroud.
I got you.
Way to go, B Dirt with them hot takes. That's what I'm talking about.
Hey, I don't even know if he's going to end up graduating from Michigan because I don't know if we're going to have the same coach. I have no idea what's going to happen. But I'm telling you, it's the truth.
It's definitely on record. It's on record. And you guys, man, I thank you guys for hanging out.
Wait, Maud, you didn't tell us who you think your dude is.
Williams. He's leaving from Oklahoma, so I can say it because I want all the bad things that like to happen in Oklahoma and only Oklahoma. But Williams, I think Williams is going to be a dog quarterback in one of the ones that's going to
there's a crazy rumor out there right now and it's like just ain't no rumor. Caleb Williams is going to Wisconsin.
That would be a good place. That would be a good place. And he's a dog. He's a dog. That's a young stud. That's a young stud, and I think he's built like the Josh Allens. You know, he's a big guy who could throw the ball and can run. You know what I mean? So I like him. I like him a lot. But definitely thank you guys for hanging out with us, man. If you like the content you saw and you heard, definitely make sure you hit that like button, smash that subscribe button. So when we go live on YouTube, you will be there and just be there and rock with us that whole time, man. But do we got any last words, anything everybody want to leave with the audience?
Yeah, man, I just want to give it up to the Bengals one more time real quick and shout out to my homegirl, Vanetta, huge Bengals fan. She kind of flipped, though. She liked the Bengals and your team, the Giants mod. So, but
I hate the Giants, too. Thank you. I want all the bad things that like to happen to the Giants and Oklahoma, both of them.
Just shout out to all the Bengals fans out there. Congratulations.
Big G?
Yeah, I just want to say, I just now looked up on Facebook. Eddie Copeland just said, hey, man, How about Watson to the Pittsburgh Steelers? Is there any way it can happen?
I would love that. I said yesterday that's the only quarterback I would trade for. I wouldn't trade for Rodgers or Wilson. They too old. I would give up some capital for Deshaun Watson because he's 26 and he got 10 good years left.
Yeah.
I like that, Deshaun. But I gave Big G this earlier in the season. Didn't I, G? You know I did. I said if Deshaun Watson ends up in Pittsburgh, the Steelers could go on this run. I mean, because y'all have a young team, and all y'all have to do is get some pieces at the line. He's used to playing with a flawed offensive line.
Whoa.
The guy can do it.
I did a Big G burner on Watson to the Steelers. So I'm saying that, if it goes down like that, hey.
Do you think they want to deal with all that off-field stuff?
Man, they had Big Ben there.
I mean, absolutely.
Yeah, but he did it after he came there. They didn't choose it.
Let me tell you something. Let me go on and set the record straight on this. These are all allegations. This man has not been indicted for anything, right? They ain't called him.
It's not even a criminal case.
It ain't been indicted for anything. So what this comes down to is money, and the Texans did this to scar him. To tank his career because he didn't want to play for him. Andre Johnson spoke up and was like, man, the Texans, they doing him dirty. And they know what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? But he took that money.
Vince Warford did too, just FYI, who played a lot of years in New England.
Yeah.
But he also came out publicly and said that they playing with him.
Yeah. I mean, and you mean to tell me they're gonna give you all that money and not vet you and not know that this is happening? They gave him that money because they know everything about him, right? So honestly, if you ain't got no criminal case against the man and you just trying to smear, this is a smear campaign, let him go. Let him go somewhere else, get value for him and move on. And I would love to see the man rebirth his career under Mike Tomlin to make it happen.
What do we got to give up to get him?
Three first and a starting player.
Woo! Good God.
That's worth it.
Minimum.
It's worth it.
Oh my God! This just makes you shiver, man. 3 first.
They might ask for 4.
It's worth it. I mean, it's
worth
worth
it because it's not a shot in the dark. I mean, you know what Deshaun Watson is going to give you.
I just had sticker shock.
Yeah, I said 3 first. Oh my God, I'm shaking.
But then you're gonna send 3 first for Aaron Rodgers, and he got what, maybe 3 years left at best.
If Pittsburgh trade 3 first for Aaron Rodgers, somebody need to put a hit out on Tomlin because something is going wrong over there, man.
The Rams just traded 2 firsts for Stafford, so Aaron Rodgers give you 3.
So first of all, my roommate in college, man, Blue, he gonna talk about we didn't mention Josh Allen in the AFC talk, and we need to be drug tested. We did mention Josh Allen in the AFC talk as one of the rising stars of AFC. Blue, I don't even know. I can't with you, man. I can't. But listen, when I'm saying Deshaun Watson is worth it, Tate is absolutely right. You know what you're gonna get. You know who this man is. He's got a cannon for an arm. He can move. He's very mobile. He's going to make great decisions with your football. You got some good receivers over there, and you got a dog at running back, right? Automatically, Claypool becomes better. Automatically, Juju becomes better. Automatically, the other guy becomes better, right? Just because of Deshaun Watson.
Hey, B Dirk, thanks, man. Thank y'all. Because the fact that y'all going to the Super Bowl and Jamar Chase and Mixon got to play in the Super Bowl, Deontay Johnson and Najee Harris going to the Pro Bowl. We got 2 more Pro Bowlers now.
Look at that.
He deserved it too.
He does deserve it. Hey, but for the KnoItAllz, man, we will definitely catch you guys next week. We out of here. Peace.